start our studies looking at the screen. Okay, my dear students, the aim of today's practical is to analyze the given salt for the acidic and basic radical. Acidic radical, that is, the meaning of acidic radical is anion, and the meaning of basic radical means cation. So the salt given to us looks like this. I hope you can see it. Can you see the salt?
Yes, sir.
This is the salt we
Yes,
are
sir.
going to study today.
Yes, sir. We can.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the salt, dear students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
ये salt जो है आज हमें इसको analyze करना है. We are going to analyze this particular salt today. Okay. So now let us start to it. I hope you have seen the salt. चलिए, let's move forward and understand it. Okay. Now, you know, we are going to follow one pattern. This pattern is we will first perform an experiment. We will observe what happens during the experiment, and then we reach to a particular conclusion, and that conclusion is our inference. So this is the way we study the practical or salt analysis. You have just seen the salt very well, so you can understand. So we can do the physical examination of the salt. You have seen that the physical state of the salt was solid. So there are some salts which are semi-solid like FeCl3, and other semi-solid salts are absent. They are not present because we have already got a solid salt. Now you have seen the color of the salt. You have seen that the color of the salt is white, or we can call it colorless. So those ions which are colorful, for example, Fe+3, Fe+2, Ni+2, Cu+2, all such ions are absent in this particular case. So my dear students, we can easily understand that these ions remains absent in this particular given salt to us because the salt is colorless or white. Then my dear students, if we smell this salt, there is no specific smell, and that is why those ions which have a specific smell, they can be considered as absent. So you can say that NH4 plus ion and CH3COO minus ion, that is ammonium ion and acetate ion, may be absent. Ammonium ion gives ammonia smell and acetate ion gives smell like vinegar. Now, my dear students, we are going to study about the heating test. So let us pay attention to the heating test. We may call it as a dry heating test. So let us look at the dry heating test. Heat the given salt in the dry test tube. So let's have a look to this, my dear students. Let us see how can we heat the salt. So I hope you can see the screen now. Dear students, can you see the screen where you have the process of heating can be seen?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for replying. Please pay attention. See, we have taken a test tube. This test tube is taken into the test tube holder, and this salt is there in the test tube. Now we are going to heat the salt on the Bunsen burner, and let us observe what happens. Dear students, can you see what happens? What have you observed? Can you tell me, please? When we heat the given salt, what happens? What have you seen? आप लोग ने क्या देखा बता सकते हैं? बच्चों आप सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे? हेलो,
Yes, sir.
आप देख रहे हैं क्या हो रहा है? चलिए एक बार फिर से देखते हैं इसको, इसी प्रोसेस को एक बार फिर से देखते हैं। लेट अस लुक एट द सेम प्रोसेस अगेन। भाई अब ध्यान से देखिए, आपको आंसर करना है। अब आपको चुप्पी नहीं रखना है। अब तो बता दीजिए क्या हो रहा है। When we heat the salt, what happens?
Reddish brown color gas निकल रही है.
Yes, very good. Can anyone else? कोई और दो लोग आंसर दे सकते हैं? What have you observed? When we heat the salt, what you can observe? Please answer the question. Hello?
So salt is decomposed.
And what happens?
The salt is decomposed and reddish brown gas is produced.
Who is speaking this? राजकुमार?
Sir, yes sir, Rajkumar.
बेटा आपने देखा ये रेडिश ब्राउन गैस जो प्रोड्यूस हुआ था वो?
Yes sir, देखा ना सर.
ओके, तो बाकी सब नहीं देख पा रहे हैं क्या? ऑल ऑफ यू शुड आंसर दिस। सब लोग बताइए।
यस सर।
यस सर नहीं, बताइए क्या देखा?
तो देख रहे हैं
सर जो सोल्ट है वो डिकम्पोज होकर ना रेडिश ब्राउन कलर गैस प्रोड्यूस हुई।
सर, वो रेड और है ना, वो रेड कलर का।
हाँ, वेरी गुड। तो देखा ना कि भी व्हेन वी हीट द सॉल्ट वी एक्चुअली गेट दी रेडिश ब्राउन कलर सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूस्ड, है ना, रेडिश ब्राउन कलर गैस प्रोड्यूस्ड। When reddish brown color gas produced, this reddish brown color gas is nothing but your nitrogen dioxide, and as it is a nitrogen dioxide, we can say that NO3-1 may be present. हम यहाँ पे श्योर नहीं हो रहे हैं क्योंकि ये जस्ट हीटिंग टेस्ट है। हम कंफर्मेटिव टेस्ट करेंगे और फिर इसको कंफर्म करेंगे। बट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई इफ द रेडिश ब्राउन गैस इज प्रोड्यूस, NO3- ion may be present. Now we'll look to the next test. We need to mix the salt with solid sodium hydroxide, and if we smell it, we will get no specific smell, and that is why we can say that NH4 plus may be absent. Then my dear students, we are going to mix the salt with solid oxalic acid and heat. When we mix the salt and heat it with the oxalic acid, we do not get the smell of vinegar, and we can easily say that CH3COO minus or acetate ion may be absent. Now my dear students, we are going to heat. A pinch of salt is allowed to burn on the oxidizing flame. तो चलिए देखते हैं बच्चों कि अगर पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट को हम ऑक्सीडाइजिंग फ्लेम में गर्म करते हैं, फ्लेम टेस्ट करते हैं, तो क्या होता है? आई होप यू हैव ऑन योर स्क्रीन, आपकी स्क्रीन पे फ्लेम टेस्ट लिखा हुआ मिल रहा है आपको?
सर यस सर।
Okay, so let us look at the flame test for this salt. For this particular flame test, my dear students, the various materials that we need is, we need an original salt, we need concentrated hydrochloric acid, and the various other apparatus. So you can see that now we are going to heat, or we are going to perform the flame test. For flame test, we first take the original salt. In this original salt, we add a drop of concentrated hydrochloric acid to make a paste of it. So you can see, yes, the paste has been prepared.
Yes.
And now you can put it on the wire and you can heat it. You can see what color flame you can see. This is the color of the flame.
Bluish color.
Yeah, it's a dull bluish color, which is very much same to the flame of the Bunsen burner, because Bunsen burner's flame is also bluish color. So it is almost same to that, and that is why the flame test is not much important as far as the analysis is concerned. But still we can say that we have performed the flame test and we can analyze the salt this way. So you can see on the screen now. Can you see on the screen the write up, my dear students? क्या आप लोग को
Yes,
स्क्रीन
sir.
पे राइट अप दिख रहा है?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm reading for you. Flame test. A pinch of salt
Yes,
is allowed
sir.
to burn in the oxidizing flame. So when we heat it in the oxidizing flame, dull bluish flame is obtained, and we can say that ions such as Pb+2 may be present because lead+2 ion gives the dull bluish flame. Now, my dear students, we are going to perform the wet test. So first, we will take the salt solution or salt in solid form, and then we will add the dilute HCl. You have just seen it that when we add dilute HCl, there were no effervences, and that is why we can say that CO3 minus 2 is absent. Now into the next one, my dear students, we have to perform the concentrated sulfuric acid test. In the concentrated sulfuric acid test, my dear students, we do not get white fumes, and that is why we can say that Cl minus ions is absent. Again, we are going to perform the manganese dioxide test. So we take salt, we add concentrated sulfuric acid, and we add a pinch of manganese dioxide. As a catalyst, we add copper foil and heat it. On heating, we will not get greenish yellow gas, and that is why we can say that Cl minus 1 is absent. Now, my dear students, we take the salt and we add barium chloride BaCl2 solution. We will not get white precipitates, and that is why we can say that SO4 minus 2 is absent. Now, my dear students, for the analysis of the salt, we are going to perform a main and important test. This main important test, sorry, is known as the brown ring test. So, in the aqueous medium of salt, freshly prepared solution of FeSO4 is added. Then slowly we add the concentrated sulfuric acid, flowing, touching the wall of the test tube. So let us see, my dear students, this particular test for our uh, salt analysis. So you can see here, we are going to perform a brown ring test. For brown ring test, we need a freshly prepared FeSO4 solution. You can see that FeSO4 solution is prepared freshly. This freshly prepared FeSO4 solution is slightly green in color. Then we need concentrated sulfuric acid. Then we need the various test tubes for performing the tests. We need droppers to add the things dropwise. Now let us perform the test. So first we take a test tube. In this test tube we have only the salt solution present in it. You can see the salt solution. Now we are going to mix it with the freshly prepared FeSO4 solution, which was green in color. Now you can see that we are going to add the concentrated sulfuric acid into this mixture by touching the wall of the test tube. You can see that it is added very slowly, and you can see the reaction takes place. It is wonderful to observe this. This reaction is easy to understand. We have sulfuric acid, we have nitrate inside it. So sulfuric acid reacts with the NO3 minus and produces nitric acid. And this nitric acid reacts with this ferrous sulfate solution to produce Fe2SO4 thrice, that is ferric sulfate. And this nitric oxide, which is produced here in this reaction, again reacts with the ferrous sulfate to produce the brown ring here. My dear students, for your knowledge, please remember that NO here is NO plus 1. It is interesting to remember and note it down. So this is how, my dear students, you can see that at the juncture of both the liquids, you can observe the brown ring. You can see I'm moving my cursor along the
Yes, sir.
brown ring. This is liquid number 1. This is liquid number 2. And at the juncture of both the liquids, we have got a brown ring, and that is why this test is known as the brown ring test. I hope, my dear students, you have seen it or you have observed it well. So once again, I am going to read it the test for you. In the aqueous medium of salt, freshly prepared solution of FeSO4 solution is added. Then slowly add the concentrated sulfuric acid, flowing, touching the wall of the test tube. Brown ring is observed. Have you all seen the brown ring?
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting
Yes,
for your
sir.
answers, my dear students.
Yes, sir. Dikhat.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this brown
Yes,
ring
sir.
actually
Yes,
tells
sir.
us, this brown ring actually tells us the presence of the NO3 minus ions. So my dear students, we have NO3 minus ion present with us. Now from the dry test and the wet test, we can have a rough idea that there is a possibility of presence of the Pb+2 ion and NO3 minus 1 ion. Now, my dear students, we are going to perform a group analysis. See, preparation of the original solution. To prepare the original solution, my dear students, we dissolve the given salt into the distilled water, and this is how you can see here. I have a small picture that we dissolve the salt into the distilled water, then we filtrate it, and after filtration we get the solution. That solution is known as the original solution. Now on this original solution we are going to perform the group analysis test. So let us have a look to the group analysis test, my dear students. Let us uh, pay attention to the various group analysis tests. Uh, let us understand the group analysis, my dear students. Now we are going to perform. Now we are going to perform the group analysis test. So let us pay attention to the group analysis. The various materials required for the group
Yes.
analysis are salt solution, that is what we call it original solution, OS. Dilute hydrochloric acid is needed. We need distilled water and the other material like test tube holder, dropper and Bunsen burner. Let us perform the test. We are going to add the small quantity of dilute hydrochloric acid to the original solution. See, as soon as we add the dilute hydrochloric acid to the original solution, we get the white precipitates. These white precipitates are obtained by the reaction of the nitrates or lead with the HCl to produce PbCl2, which are white precipitates. So this is how, my dear students, we understand the white precipitates produced in this reaction. That is how we can understand, or that is how we can confirm the presence of the group test. So this is how we do it, my dear students. So when we want to perform the group test. First, we go for the group analysis of group 1. In first group analysis, we take original solution and then we add dilute hydrochloric acid aqueous into it. We get white precipitates. So any one ion from the group 1 like silver plus 1, Ag+1, Pb+2, lead+2, mercury+1, any one of them may be present. Now, my dear students, please read this note. In this note, we have written that lead has been placed in group first and group 2 because lead chloride is slightly soluble in water and therefore lead is never completely precipitated by adding dilute HCl to a sample. The rest of the lead ion are precipitated with the H2S in acidic medium. Now this was an important note. So we have performed the group 1 analysis, but still in the solution, there are much lead+2 ions remain. This lead+2 ions which remains into the solution, they are precipitated in the group 2. So you can see that both in group 1 and group 2, we have this Pb+2 ion present. Pb+2 ion are placed both in group 1 and group 2 because in the first group test, the PbCl2, which are the white precipitates, they are precipitated, but this PbCl2 is slightly soluble in water. So Pb+2 ion again remains in the solution that we can again precipitate by passing the H2S gas. So let us again see the next group 2 test for lead ions. So now let us look at the group 2 test. In this group 2 test, my dear students, we are just going to pass the H2S gas into the solution. So let us have a look at this. We have got white precipitates. Now we are going to pass H2S gas through the solution or white precipitates. As soon as we pass the H2S gas through the white precipitates, we receive the black precipitates. I hope all of you can see the black precipitates. Can you see the black precipitates, my dear students? Dear students, do you have on your screen the black precipitates?
No, sir.
Hello?
No, sir.
You can't see black precipitates on your screen now?
अब दिखा
Yes, sir.
अब दिखा सर.
Are you able to see it or not?
Yes
Yes,
sir,
sir.
दिख
Able
रहा
to
है.
see.
Okay, let us do it once again. See, we are passing H2S gas, and as H2S gas is passed, we get black precipitates. Look at this. Is it seen, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes,
how,
Yes,
my dear
sir.
students, the H2S gas is passed, and we get the black precipitates of PBS. So this is how, my dear students, we see the black precipitates produced. Now this black precipitates produced says us that any one ion of group 2, their Cu+2 or Pb+2 may be present. Now what shall we do? We need to add 50% nitric acid to the precipitates, heat it and then cool it, and then we will add the dilute sulfuric acid. Then we get the white precipitates, and then we will, or the translucent solution, and then we will add the few drops of alcohol. And then we will perform two confirmative tests for Pb+2 ion. One is potassium iodide test and another is potassium chromate test. So let us have look to this, my dear students, so that we can truly understand the practical. Please pay attention. Now we have these black precipitates produced with us. We will divide these black precipitates into two parts. We will divide the black precipitates into two parts, and then we will perform the following test. So this was the first, this is the black precipitates that we have. Now we are going to add 50% nitric acid to it. We will add 50% nitric acid to the first, to the black precipitates. You can see. Then these black precipitates are heated into the water bath. When we heat it into the water bath, the black precipitates are turned into yellow precipitates. Have you seen the black precipitates turned into yellow, my dear students? You can
No,
see
sir.
here, the black
No,
precipitates
sir.
were turned into yellow precipitates.
Sir, I am not able to see.
Who is this?
Sir, Rajkumar.
Okay. Rajkumar, are you able to see now?
Yes, sir.
Optical.
Okay, you are wonderful, man. Now you can
Yes,
see
sir.
the yellow precipitates, and these yellow precipitates, when it move for, we add dilute sulfuric acid. When we add dilute sulfuric acid, the precipitates dissolves, and then we add the alcohol. So we can either get the white precipitates or the translucent solution. You can see here. So my dear students, actually by doing this reaction, when we add the lead nitrate, which is produced as by the reaction of black precipitate with H2SO4, this black precipitate with 50% nitric acid, we get lead nitrate. Lead nitrate reacts with H2SO4 to produce lead sulfate solution. This lead sulfate solution, now we are going to perform the potassium iodide test, my dear students. So this translucent solution, whatever we had, the material required for this test is potassium iodide. We need hot ammonium acetate which dissolves the salt of Pb+2 and droppers. So we will perform this test. We'll take the translucent solution into the test tube. One part of this translucent solution, we shall add the ammonium acetate to it. Then we mix it well. When we mix it well, this lead sulfate dissolves into the ammonium acetate solution. And then to this solution, we are going to add potassium iodide. As soon as we add potassium iodide, we get yellow precipitates that confirms the presence of Pb+2 ions. Now, my dear students, we are going to perform the potassium chromate test. The various materials required are, again, the one part of this translucent solution, potassium chromate, and the various test tubes and droppers. To the solution, we are going to add ammonium acetate first. This ammonium acetate dissolves the salt and make it transparent. And then we are going to add potassium chromate to it. As soon as we add the potassium chromate, we can see the yellow precipitates formed. And this is how, my dear students, we understand the two confirmative tests for Pb+2. One is potassium iodide test and another is potassium chromate test. Same way, my dear students, for NO3-1, we have two confirmative tests which we have already performed. One is the brown ring test and another is the dry heating test. So by performing the brown ring test, we can confirm the presence of NO3-1. By doing the dry heating test, we can confirm the presence of NO3-1. And thus, in the result, we can write the basic radical present is Pb+2 and acidic radical present is NO3-1. Let us have a look to the last two tests. Let us see again the confirmative test for NO3-. We are going to see the brown ring test. Please pay attention. Sorry, this is the dry heating test. It was not the brown ring test, but it is the dry heating test. And in this dry heating test, we can see, my dear students, the reddish brown gas produced due to the dry heating. You can see here once again, this is just, you can see that, or you might have seen the reddish brown color due to dry heating test. Now we are going to again see the brown ring test. In the brown ring test, we use freshly prepared FeSO4 solution. We use concentrated sulfuric acid solution, test tubes, droppers. Let us perform the brown ring test. We take the original solution or the salt solution, then we add freshly prepared FeSO4 solution. In this, by touching the wall, we slowly add the sulfuric acid solution. You can see the reaction, and during the reaction, our reddish brown, this is the chemical equation for this test. You can pose it, you can see the brown ring produced here in this test. So this is how, my dear students, you can truly understand the brown ring test with you. So this was, it was, this is how, my dear students, we can analyze the test for our given soil, and this is how we truly understand, my dear students, the various tests that has been performed. I hope, my dear students, you are enjoying your studies and happy learning. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Do you have any doubts, my dear students? Is there anything which you don't understand from this experiment or from this analysis? अगर आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है या आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। बच्चों, कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, it was wonderful talking to you, my dear students.